Hi friends, this is Myra with Vial Designs, and today I'm super excited to share with you my setup for my brand new bullet journal. And I feel excited, and this is super special because in the past I've done the setup in the middle of the year or started at a random month and never kept it up for a whole year. So I hope that this year I can keep it up. I am using this Archer and Olive dark green notebook. It's 192 pages and I absolutely love it. As you can see, this is a gorgeous moon theme journal and the pages are super thick, and so that's why I love it, because I'm gonna be able to use watercolors and different types of markers. This year, instead of using this bullet journal like as an everyday planner, I'm gonna use it more for kind of like to keep up with my artistic side, as well as gratitude journal and memory keeper. I have terrible memory, so my goal is to record the moments, even if they're simple moments or events that we have with my family. And I would love to look back on it and just see all the memories we've made throughout the year. So the theme that I decided to do for my 2022 bullet journal setup is the moon and floral doodles. I got this inspiration from Shaded Campbell here in YouTube, and I'm setting up right here the cover page, and I'm going to be drawing a moon and sort of like the universe behind it. And so I'm using this angle and circle maker to draw two circles, and then I'm sketching the moon and I'm going to be sketching the florals. I wanted to do like a floral on top of it and then a flower behind the moon with some greenery, and I'm going to be putting all the tools that I'm going to be using throughout my bullet journal setup. So be sure you check out the description down below, because I'm going to be linking everything that I use. And so in here I'm sketching the first flower that I'm going to draw, and I find it helpful to do the center first and then draw a circle around it, just so I can have an idea of how big the flower is going to be. Usually I also draw a small circle for the center, but this time I skipped that step. So as you can see here, I'm drawing all the petals and then overlapping petals as well. And there are some times where I draw like little S shapes and on some of the petals, and that's just to show that they are kind of bent and just to give it some perspective and dimension to the flower doodles. And at this point I'm pretty satisfied with the sketch, and I am outlining everything with the monoline studio pen from the Pigeon Letters. This is the 05. I'm only doing the outlines for everything that I sketch, and then I will be adding the details with a smaller size pen. If you don't have one of these desktop vacuums, I highly recommend it. I use it almost every day, so this is a gadget that you definitely need, and so I'm gonna link that below as well. And then to do the shading and the details of the floral doodles and the greenery, I am using the monoline studio pen 01. You can always use the same size pen to do the whole outlining and the doodles, but I always recommend, if you can, try using a smaller size pen for the details, because they're going to be more delicate looking and your overall doodle is going to end up better when you do this. And now I am going to paint this part all black, and I'm using a Korean brush marker brow. You can use any marker that you have available, and so I decided to give a second coat in the different direction just to make sure the lines were not as noticeable. Now for these white dots, I'm using a Posca paint marker extra fine. And now this is my favorite part. I'm going to be adding this Finetec metallic paint to the moon, and I'm using a pigeon letters brush round size 4. To activate this Finetec palette, you just add some water and then you mix it, and then you start painting with it. You may have to add a little bit more water as it will dry a little bit, and I did 2 coats on the moon, and I'm just obsessed with this metallic paint because it's so bright, vibrant. It makes the moon pop and it's just beautiful. I love the contrast with the white and the black. And now if you have some super cute and adorable scissors, you can use that, but any scissors is fine. And I'm gonna cut this part, and this is to create the Dutch door. If you never heard of Dutch door before, it's a way of cutting one or some of the pages on your bullet journal so you can make certain information visible or to add more information to your spreads. I really love how this cover page turned out, and now we're gonna move to the next page, which is my affirmations and dream big. So in this I'm going to be also doodling another flower. This is more like a peony. I'm also gonna be doing the affirmations, which I'm gonna start doing this year more often. Also dream big, where I'm gonna write down the big goals that I have for the year. Okay, and for the lettering part, I'm gonna be doing fall calligraphy throughout the whole setup. If you wanna learn more about fall calligraphy, I have a couple of videos that I'm gonna put in the description down below, and I go over the lowercase alphabet, uppercase as well. And so all these videos come with free calligraphy practice worksheets that you can use to start learning. I also have a couple of workbooks that you can print at home and learn as well. And so if one of your goals is to learn calligraphy, I would love to help you with that. And since the 2022 is going to be visible through the Dutch door that I created for the cover page, I decided to go ahead and add some of this goldness, shiny, beautiful metallic Finetec paint. Moving on, I am created the future log, which basically, if you've never done bullet journal before, it's like a year at a glance. So here I'm gonna be putting all the months of the year, and so basically you write down all the major events that you have for the year, and that way you can refer back to it when you're planning your monthly and your weekly setup. And since I'm gonna be including the 12 months in here, I thought that this Dutch door is perfect for that. Of course, I got this inspiration from Amanda Rage Lee, and I just love it because you just have to write the title once and it's gonna cover all the months. Okay, I hope this part of the video is satisfying to watch because I have fun editing the video to make the lines like this. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work this way. But moving on to the lettering part of the months, I'm just using a monoline calligraphy. This is the same as cursive, as you can see here, just because the space was so small to do fall calligraphy, so we're just gonna keep it simple like that. And then for the tabs, I painted them black, and I'm using this Sakura Jelly Roll White pen to just mark here the months that are included into each tab. So moving on, I'm going to be setting up my goals page, and what you're going to see me doing here is using a kneaded eraser to erase most of the pencil sketch, but leaving just a little bit so I can see and trace. And I just like doing this because it helps me so I don't have to erase as much when I'm done doing the outline. So I thought it would be cool to add these clouds to divide my goals into personal, family, blog, and finances. And as you can see, I had everything sketched out beforehand, and as I was planning my bullet journal setup, I came across Julian Doodles YouTube channel, and I saw that instead of coloring the whole doodle, she used the highlight or shadow method to add some color to her doodles, and I just thought it was a genius idea because I love how it adds a pop-up color but it's not too saturated. So I'm gonna go back and do the same thing throughout the whole bullet journal setup. And the next spread that I'm including in my 2022 bullet journal setup is my ideal routine, and this is where I'm going to write down the things that work for me in the morning and at night, because I do feel better when I do certain things like working out and meditating and just writing in my gratitude journal every morning. And there are some things that I would like to do at night, and it just helps to have them written out so I can refer back to them often. The next spread that I'm doing is Inspire, also by Amanda Rachel Lee, and this is a 2022 highlight reel, which I decided to do very similar to the cover page. And so as I mentioned before, I wanted my bullet journal this year to be more for like memory keeping, and so this is where I'm going to be adding 2 pictures for every month to highlight the special moments for that month. And so for this, I wanted to do these tabs here just like Amanda did, because I just think that it looks so cool having the tabs here with the months. I'm gonna do the highlight and shadow method because I think it looks so cool this way, and I'm always afraid to add color because I'm afraid to mess it up. But I am really liking this new method of adding color but not too much color. And then of course I added the Finetec metallic gold to the moon. And the last spread that I'm going to do in my bullet journal setup is my social media growth, and this is a tracker that I used to do every month, but it was taking me a long time, and I want to simplify my bullet journal for the next year. So I went ahead and did this tracker for 6 months, and so I don't have to do it monthly, and I also just to see how the growth is going throughout the 6 months of the year. I guess this has been the last spread was giving me the more issues because I was messing up and I was writing YouTube twice, so thank goodness for Whiteout to the rescue. I also added some highlights. And that is it for my bullet journal setup. I absolutely love how it turned out. The cover page, I think it is gorgeous, and the affirmations and dream big, also the future log. I am really grateful for all the YouTubers here that gave me ideas to set mine up. I love how it turned out, and I'm really excited to start planning on it, and I hope this gives you some inspiration too to set up your own bullet journal for this year, and I hope that it keeps you and helps you to stay more organized to start the year. I also love this highlight reel, and I can't wait to start putting the pictures here and to look back when the 6 months are done and just see the progress and the memories that I've made. And so I hope you like this video of my bullet journal setup and it gives you some ideas. If you recreate it, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Vial Designs, and I hope you have an amazing year, and I will see you in my next video.